in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
New tornado warning in effect for the Pensacola metro area due to a possible tornado right over Pensacola that's going to move out toward Gulf Breeze and Pensacola Beach. Hope you're having a nice Thursday evening. Current time now 8:37 p.m. We're watching a possible tornado right over the Pensacola metro on the west side of town, perhaps near Myrtle Grove or areas near downtown Pensacola. If you're near these areas, we need you to take action to protect yourself as we have a possible tornado imminently moving in from the northwest. The circulation that prompted other tornado warnings earlier has now yet again strengthened, and this is right over the western part of the Pensacola metro, right over Myrtle Grove, areas near Brownsville, downtown Pensacola, out here towards the Wahoo Stadium, and very near NAS Pensacola as well. Be in a safe place if you're near these zones. Possible tornado now coming in from the northwest, going to quickly move out over the bay before it moves out toward Gulf Breeze and ultimately Pensacola Beach over the next few minutes. Again, watching this situation very carefully as we have a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued. Let's go over to the reflectivity product because man, oh man, this storm means business. And this is a situation where we need you to take action because this is a warning, not a watch. It's a warning, meaning we need an action plan in place for areas near downtown Pensacola, Warrington, also areas out here near Myrtle Grove, and areas near Palafox, also areas out here near Gulf Breeze and the Pensacola Beach area, near Margaritaville, near the Portofino, near the Beach Ball Water Tower, near the Grand Marlin Restaurant, all those areas in line to potentially see this tornado. Be in a safe place if you're not already in all these zones that I'm calling out as we have this possible tornado at Pensacola moving in now. What I'm doing is getting out our Red Zone Weather app alert so that we are alerting folks in Pensacola. Again, this possible tornado at Pensacola now, and this is quickly moving to the southeast. And so a tornado warning in effect for southern Escambia, Florida. Right in through here is going to be your area of rotation. And again, downtown Pensacola is right here. Wahoo Stadium is right here. This is the new bridge that was just built, the one that was so heavily damaged by Hurricane Sally where the barges went into. That's that bridge that connects Pensacola over to Gulf Breeze. All those areas that I'm calling out, if you're near there, be in a tornado safe place. The actual tornado is likely going to be out here on the west side of Pensacola and really very near the Pensacola Country Club and Sanders Beach. This could be your tornado. All right, and so this is going to be very near 90 and 98 in downtown Pensacola. You've got all the restaurants and bars right there near Palafox right here. Looks like this possible tornado may pass just to the west of there, but look, if you're in downtown Pensacola, treat this seriously. Be in your tornado safe place in downtown Pensacola, Warrington, or areas here near Gulf Breeze as well. You are under this active tornado warning that is valid until 9 p.m. So again, an active 9:15, excuse me. All right, so 9:15 p.m. New tornado warning for downtown Pensacola. Look, if you're north of Interstate 10, this has nothing to do with you. Same thing at Cordova Mall, Sacred Heart Hospital, areas near Scenic Highway, you're fine. The areas previously involved in the other tornado warning are okay. Back behind this as well, Pine Forest, Beulah, Bellevue, areas near Ensley, Car City, Interstate 10. All those areas are fine. This cell has now shifted, and this is to the south of those areas, basically very near downtown Pensacola right now. And we're working this active tornado warning that's on the board until 9:15 p.m. So we've got about 30 more minutes on this. And this cell is going to ultimately cross the bay and come out here towards Gulf Breeze and the Andrews Institute. Areas near Gulf Breeze Elementary, near, there's a Chipotle, brand new Chipotle right there on the highway right there in Gulf Breeze, Chick-fil-A, also areas near Andrews Institute, All those areas need to be implementing your tornado safety plan right now, as this possible tornado is at Pensacola, about to cross the bay, technically as a waterspout, but I prefer the term tornado over water because this is a supercell that is producing a tornado most likely. And let me stress, for folks that may be just tuning in especially, tag folks in the comments below. No matter if you're watching on Facebook or the YouTube side of things, it is immensely helpful, and you can be the hero. I can be up here talking about tornadoes for 12 hours straight, but we've got to get the word out, and you know your people, all right? So text folks, tag folks in the comments below, and call folks in Gulf Breeze. If you know anyone in Gulf Breeze, call them and let them know we've got a pronounced tornado signature coming in from the northwest. Just like that, this is going to ultimately be an issue as well for Pensacola Beach in about 10 minutes. So Pensacola Beach under a tornado warning. Fort Pickens is right here. Fort Pickens is out of the polygon. And I tell you, that thing is really, really strengthening out over Pensacola Bay at this point. Let's give it about 5 more minutes in downtown Pensacola, 5 more minutes in Warrington, and I'll be able to give you a tornado all clear. This thing is quickly moving to the south toward Gulf Breeze, probably out over water at this point, over the bay, and it's coming into areas near Gulf Breeze over the next few minutes. We are watching with vehement intent the comments section to see if we see anything in the way of damage. Getting some reports of sirens sounding and that sort of thing in the Pensacola Metro. Let's kind of break it down though, because this warning is going to specifically be for the south side of Pensacola. In other words, the part of the Pensacola Metro that's most populated downtown, and basically from Baptist Hospital points south, involved in the tornado warning, valid until 9:15 p.m. Possible tornado is now out over water south of Pensacola most likely, but just to play it safe, again, let's give it 3 to 4 more minutes in Pensacola, downtown Pensacola, and I'll be able to give you an all clear. You're not going to have to stay in your tornado shelter for long, I promise. This is going to be a quick hitting system in Pensacola, and we'll get it on out to your south. But now the danger zone is in Gulf Breeze, all right? So if you're at Gulf Breeze, I don't care where you are, if you have a Gulf Breeze, Florida mailing address, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now. Same thing if you're at Pensacola Beach, from the Portofino back down the highway to the restaurants there. You've got the Grand Marlin, you got areas there near Crab's Restaurant, Margaritaville, all involved in this active tornado warning valid until 9:15 p.m. And the Weather Service, I think, made the right call in ramping this back up to tornado warning status, because this cell has yet again really ramped up. This has been a cyclic supercell thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes over the last hour. And again, let me stress, it is so immensely helpful. Tag folks in those comments below if you know anyone that would be in Oriole Beach, areas near Gulf Breeze, or Pensacola Beach. Those are really the main areas under the gun from this possible tornado. Let me look at it one more time on velocity, because I think that, yeah, let's give it, I know we're counting down here, but let's give it 1 to 2 more minutes. 1 to 2 more minutes in Pensacola. Clearly the thing is now out over water coming into Gulf Breeze, but I just want to be safe. Sometimes you get some radar signatures that can be a little misleading. I don't think this one is, but let's give it 1 to 2 more minutes in Pensacola, Myrtle Grove, Warrington, and I'll be able to give you an all clear. All right, so let's give it 1 to 2 more minutes in downtown Pensacola, and then I'll give you an all clear. This thing is going to pass to your south coming into Gulf Breeze, and it can't be stressed enough, the imminent danger zone is at Gulf Breeze at this point. No matter where you are, if you have a Gulf Breeze, Florida mailing address, you need to be sheltered. We're getting in there pretty tight on the map display here. And again, just to get your geographical bearings straight, this is the bridge that was damaged so heavily by those barges. Now a big, nice bridge that connects Pensacola back down to Gulf Breeze. This is US Highway 98, Gulf Breeze Elementary, Gulf Breeze High School, the high school at Gulf Breeze, areas near Andrews Institute, all the businesses right there in that area. There's a grocery store, there's a Starbucks, there's a Chick-fil-A, there's a new Chipotle. If you're near any of those areas, and in the residential areas right here in Gulf Breeze proper, be in a safe place. What in the world does that mean? You may be wondering, if you're new to the area, here's what you do. If you're in Gulf Breeze, Florida right now, lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors, we know that most folks don't have basements. That's okay. You don't have to be in a basement to survive a tornado. It's the best possible place to be, but you don't have to be there. Get to the lowest floor of a site-built structure. Best possible thing on this list, put on a tornado helmet, something to protect your head. That goes for kids, that goes for adults, that goes for everyone. That's the best possible thing you can do to protect yourself as this possible tornado comes in from the north. Getting a few reports here from downtown Pensacola, and we will see if those indeed verify. It's important to kind of vet information as we get it, but again, let's do this because this cell has clearly now exited off land and the circulation is about to come into Gulf Breeze. Now look, the weather's still bad in Pensacola, in downtown Pensacola. Still got extremely heavy rainfall, still got gusty winds, still have 559 strikes of lightning just in the last 10 minutes in this area. But the good news is if you are in Pensacola proper, all right? Pensacola proper, downtown Pensacola, Brent, Myrtle Grove, Warrington, areas near Blue Wahoo's, the stadium there, areas near Palafox, the tornado has passed you and it's now to your south. And so again, can't do it for Gulf Breeze, certainly can't do it for Pensacola Beach, those areas under the gun, but downtown Pensacola, we will give you a tornado all clear. Now again, the weather's bad, we know it's bad, we're seeing it on radar there, no doubt about it, but just know it looks like the tornado threat has clearly now passed to your south out over the bay, and we see that depicted on velocity. In fact, we'll zoom in. This thing is rapidly coming up on Gulf Breeze. Possible tornado over water at this point, technically classified as a water spout, but it really is a tornado over water coming into Gulf Breeze right now. Be in a safe place in the city of Gulf Breeze, Florida. Make it happen if you're in Gulf Breeze. Very important that you take this seriously. Too many people across our region have this mindset of, oh, it's never going to affect me, until it does. And so what I'm telling you is, take this seriously if you're in Gulf Breeze. Don't play with this thing. Don't think you're going to be somehow immune from this possible tornado situation. Take it seriously, put on a tornado helmet, protect yourself, and just know we'll be with you every step of the way as long as we've got this tornado warning in effect. And that's what we've got going on in southern Escambia County, Florida, Pensacola Beach, areas near Margaritaville, areas near the Grand Marlin Restaurant, Portofino. Be in a safe place. Same thing at Gulf Breeze. Possible tornado is here, moving just like that. Checking on a few other things here, just bear with me if I go silent for a bit. 8:50 p.m. on this Thursday, and man, oh man, has it been a long day in the world of severe weather. I get it if you're tired of all this, if you're sick of it, I get it. It's been a really nasty day across the region, and unfortunately, we have more in the way of severe weather setting up on your Friday. Now, I do think the overall tornado risk will be a bit minimized tomorrow compared to today, but nonetheless, we got to get through the next few minutes, and I'm cautiously optimistic this may be our final tornado warning of the night. Coming up on 9 o'clock, hopefully we'll get this thing out of here by 9:30. The warning is in effect until 9:15 p.m. And for those of you that just may be joining us, it is now 8:51 on this Thursday evening. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and we're tracking a tornado that has shifted out over the bay south of Pensacola, coming into Gulf Breeze right now. Be in a safe place if you're in Gulf Breeze or Pensacola Beach. If you're on land at downtown Pensacola, Palafox, areas near Warrington, areas near the Wahoo Stadium, points north, all clear from the imminent tornado threat. Yes, the weather's bad. We're giving you a tornado all clear if you're in Pensacola proper, all right? So Pensacola proper gets an all clear. And I'm saying Pensacola proper because, there are folks who say that they're in the Pensacola area. Technically you are if you're in Gulf Breeze, but you're a separate city. And so I say that to say, if you're in Gulf Breeze, you need to be taking action to protect yourself. Same thing at Oriole Beach, same thing at Pensacola Beach. Looks like this is gonna miss Tiger Point a bit to the west. So Tiger Point, you're okay. Same thing at the Gulf Breeze Zoo. There's the Gulf Breeze Zoo on the right-hand side of your screen. You're okay at this point. Garson Point Bridge, you're good to travel. Yes, you've got bad weather, but this is a deal that's going to pass to your west, all right? Passing to your west if you're at Garson Point, this possible tornado. And we're looking at a situation where this thing continues to ramp up. This is likely a sizable, significant waterspout out over Pensacola Bay at this point, coming into Gulf Breeze. And I see that we've got a polygon update that has not propagated yet to our system. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, right in there. That is probably a big water spout, and this is going to be very, very near Gulf Breeze, basically right now. It may pass a bit to the west of the core of Gulf Breeze, which is right here. The core of this storm is right here. So when I say it's close, it's real close. We're talking within a mile, maybe even less than a mile, of being on shore at Gulf Breeze. And in these situations, I don't like to get so specific because sometimes the data that you see here may not necessarily correlate perfectly with what's happening down at the surface. And so I say that to say it is imperative that you remain sheltered if you are near Gulf Breeze. In other words, the signature on radar may be right here, but your actual tornado may be closer to land right here at Gulf Breeze. And so stay sheltered, Gulf Breeze. The good news is the polygon's been updated, tornado warning, polygon. And if you're at Pensacola, all clear, all right? All clear from the tornado at Pensacola, Warrington, Brent, areas out here near Myrtle Grove and NAS. You're done with the tornado issues. It's now out over water, and this thing is real close to Gulf Breeze at this point. So again, zooming into the Gulf Breeze area, Langdon Beach is here, Fort Pickens is right here. Fort Pickens is out, all right? So Fort Pickens is out, but you go down Fort Pickens Road down to Margaritaville and ultimately end up in Pensacola Beach. That area is in, all right? So those areas under the gun from what could be a sizable tornado over water right now coming into Gulf Breeze. Let's look at a wide view across the region because we do note there actually is a separate tornado warning in effect for Seaside and Point Washington. And also this does include part of Santa Rosa Beach as well. And so Santa Rosa Beach, which is right here, Seaside, Point Washington. Possible tornado is very near the US Highway 98 corridor, moving just like that, basically paralleling 98. This is southern Walton County. All right, southern Walton County. You need to be in a safe place now as we have another separate tornado warning that has just come on the board for Walton County. All right, so Walton County, separate tornado warning for you. We've got two of them now. Look at them. Gulf Breeze, Pensacola Beach, southern Escambia, Florida here, and then separate tornado warning over in Walton County there. Farther inland, storms are under severe limits. You've got a heavier storm happening now near Munson. That storm is under severe limits. Same thing with storms coming into Pace, Allentown, 5 Points, Chumuckla. Storms below severe limits. You're okay for now. Same thing in Baldwin County. Robertsdale, Summerdale, Lillian, even downtown Pensacola. You're fine, even though we've got a very heavy storm pushing through your local area. The concern is for Gulf Breeze and areas near Pensacola Beach. An ongoing tornado warning now for areas near Pensacola Beach and Gulf Breeze under the gun from a possible tornado. And this tornado warning is basically extending from the Portofino Resort, which is right here, all the way back over to near Fort Pickens. Fort Pickens is technically out, but it's out there on Fort Pickens Road near there. And so Pensacola Beach, Gulf Breeze, not Gulf Shores, you're under an active tornado warning. If you're just now tuning in, we're coming up on 9 o'clock. And let's look at it on velocity. Man, oh man, that's the strongest signature I've seen all day. That is likely a strong tornado over water about to pass near or just to the west of Gulf Breeze and Pensacola Beach. This is now south of the Pensacola metro area. And this is going to be a situation where this thing moves across the barrier island, which is Pensacola Beach, right? So no travel, obviously, south of downtown Pensacola on 98 into Gulf Breeze. You can't be traveling on 98 anywhere near Gulf Breeze, Florida right now. Looking at a situation where we have a lot of folks interested in what's happening elsewhere across the region, but longtime viewers and readers know that our policy around here is that we stick with the danger zone. It's not that I'm ignoring you. If you're farther inland in Thomasville, in Bruton, in Mobile, in anywhere else across our region, but the way it works, we focus on the danger zones. You're not in any imminent weather danger if you're outside of this zone. Gulf Breeze, Pensacola Beach, and the separate tornado warning over in Walton County, those are the zones that we have under the active tornado warning. And look, the Weather Service has actually just upgraded this. They are now calling this an observed tornado. And we now have a report that this has been spotted, I believe, is the way that the Weather Service is wording this. Let me actually get on our NWS chat system. Yeah, and the Weather Service is indicating that this is now a confirmed tornado out over water at this point, but we have confirmed damage in Pensacola, very near downtown. The Weather Service indicating that yeah, goodness. Confirmed damage in Pensacola with this storm. I don't have any photos or videos to show or anything like that. Obviously, we've entered darkness after sunset, but unfortunately, some rather extensive damage has happened in the Pensacola metro area down here on the south side, very near downtown Pensacola, somewhere right in this general area. That's going to be just to the west of the Wahoo Stadium out here towards Warrington. This is the zone that likely took the brunt of the damage. We'll get in there in a bit and show you more, but we still have an imminent danger zone due to this confirmed, potentially significant tornado moving through Gulf Breeze and Pensacola Beach. I want to zoom in real tight because we need to, again, just to be safe, I want to call out some more of the landmarks in through here in case you're just now joining us. It is now 10 p.m. in the east. It is 7 p.m. out west, 9 p.m. here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we're watching a serious situation transpire near Gulf Breeze and Pensacola Beach. We have a possible tornado, or I should say a confirmed tornado that has done damage moving to the south just like this. This is going to cross the barrier island, which is Pensacola Beach, over the next 5 minutes, if it's not already. It can't be stressed enough if you're at Pensacola Beach in one of the high rises or not. If you're in a house or any type of structure at Pensacola Beach, be in your safe place. Same thing at Gulf Breeze. You've got to remain sheltered until this thing clears out into the northern Gulf. We don't say that to scare anyone, but we do want you to do the right thing and take action because we know that there's been extensive damage in parts of the Pensacola metro area just to the west of downtown Pensacola. And so this thing has done damage, and while it's crossing the bay as a waterspout moving off to the south, you've had time, you've had lead time, been very blessed with lead time in Gulf Breeze and Pensacola Beach. Make it happen. Get to that tornado safe place if you haven't already in Gulf Breeze and in Pensacola Beach. Yeah, and I tell you, I'm getting blown up with messages. I can tell you we'll let the news organizations kind of deal with what's happened, but I can tell you this is not a good situation that's happened on the west side of downtown Pensacola. We are hearing reports from multiple sources that we have entrapment. In other words, folks trapped in structures, all right, and very near downtown Pensacola. And so the threat has now shifted to Pensacola Beach. Normally, tornadoes move from southwest to northeast. In this case, the tornado is moving basically south-southeast, probably as a big tornado crossing just to the south of Gulf Breeze out here on the east side of Pensacola Beach. It can't be stressed enough, if you're out here on Fort Pickens Road, please be in a safe place. Lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors. I know that a lot of folks out here are in these houses that are up on the pilings. We want you to get to the middle part of that structure. The idea is to put as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. And most importantly, please do not try to go out and see this thing. You're not going to be able to see it. I can, promise you that in this case. It's dark, it's loud, you probably have blinding rain, but the good news is this thing is going to be out of here, out into the northern Gulf in about 5 minutes. So let's give it 10 more minutes in Pensacola Beach. Let's give it 5 more minutes in Gulf Breeze, just because this thing is so close, and just because this thing has done a considerable amount of damage in the Pensacola metro. The tornado has exited out of that area now, but man, oh man, what a signature on radar. This is just something that we were hoping we would not see today, and up until this point, we hadn't seen. We have not had tornado damage until tonight across our area. Now, don't get me wrong, we've had large hail and damaging straight line winds, but so far, up until now, we've been fortunate across the region that we haven't had tornado damage, but that has now changed, and apparently we have considerable tornado damage that has transpired on the southern side of the Pensacola metro, perhaps just to the west of downtown Pensacola, on the eastern side of Warrington, right in through there. I actually spoke to a group down in Ono Island, and I went right through this area about 48 hours ago on Tuesday night, and I can tell you that there's a lot of folks in this area, very highly populated part of the Pensacola metro, down here by the water and near Warrington. And unfortunately for the folks at Pensacola Beach, you are under the gun now from this confirmed tornado that has done damage in Pensacola as it pushes off to the south. This is Fort Pickens Road right here. Fort Pickens is back behind me. The actual fort at Fort Pickens is not included in the polygon, in the tornado warning polygon, but basically from Langdon Beach, which is right here, all the way back over to Pensacola Beach proper, which is right there at the water tower, you're involved. And sometimes these maps can be a little misleading. You see Pensacola Beach, the word, that's right over that big beach ball water tower. But this is Pensacola Beach, all right? We know that there's folks who live out here that live at Pensacola Beach. And so please, can't be stressed enough, be in a safe place if you're at Pensacola Beach. If you see me looking off camera, I'm looking at a variety of different sources so we can get you the latest information. Goodness. The Weather Service continues to call this a confirmed tornado as of 9:05 p.m. and it is right over the western side of Pensacola Beach, all right, right here. That is just a telltale sign of a tornado doing damage, and something that you pray you never ever see, but here we are. Can't be stressed enough, if you're just now catching this, 9:05 p.m., be in a safe place in Pensacola Beach. Let's give it 3 more minutes in Gulf Breeze, 3 more minutes in Gulf Breeze, and I'll give you an all clear. If you're just now tuning in, Pensacola, all clear. You've had damage in Pensacola tonight, but the imminent tornado threat across the entirety of the Pensacola metro is now done, and we'll give you an all clear. I see that we've got another area of rotation back behind me coming into areas out here. This is going to be near US Highway 98 and Lillian. Let's kind of see what that's about, because that thing is mighty suspicious. Yeah, look, I'm putting you on notice. If you are at Lillian, Perdido Key, right here. Here's Perdido Key. NAS Pensacola, areas here near, you got areas out towards Innerarity Point. Possible tornado developing and moving just like that. There's no warning in place for those communities that I just called out, but I'm putting you on notice. You may get another tornado warning in those areas. So here's the deal. If you know someone at Lillian, Perdido Key, Innerarity Point, or areas near NAS Pensacola. Tag them in the comments below and let them know they may get a tornado warning. It is so immensely helpful for you to help me get information out. You truly are our window to the world of getting information out, and we appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who likes, shares, and comments on all our content. That helps push it out to the masses. We exist here at Red Zone Weather to help you out in situations just like this. And again, the call to action is at Pensacola Beach. Let me interrupt myself for a minute because I see that we have a new flash flood warning that the Weather Service is calling considerable for the Pensacola Metro. All right, so new flash flood warning just coming on the board for the Pensacola Metro area, and this is going to be a situation where you don't need to be out on the roads. I've not heard of anything in the way of water rescues or anything like that, but in a situation like this where you have ongoing rain, heavy rain that is, this is only going to exacerbate the ongoing flash flooding situation across the Pensacola Metro. All right, so we just sent out that flash flood warning in the Red Zone Weather app for our good folks in Escambia County, Florida. That's in place for the Pensacola Metro, but we are here to cover this ongoing confirmed tornado happening at Pensacola Beach. Let's look at it on velocity. That thing is now right at Pensacola Beach, perhaps just to the south of there. And some good news to pass along. Gulf breeze, you get an all clear. Gulf breeze, all clear. Andrews Institute, Oriole Beach, Tiger Point, all clear. You are done with the active tornado threat. And I tell you, this thing is really getting out into the Gulf. That's what we want to see. And I'm afraid that there could be some tornado damage here on the western side of Pensacola Beach out here on Fort Pickens Road. We'll see, because we did have damage in downtown Pensacola and areas just to the west of there near Warrington. We know that some significant damage has happened because we are hearing reports from multiple reliable sources of entrapment, which means folks are trapped in a potentially collapsed structure and that sort of thing. Be in a safe place if you're at Pensacola Beach. Let's check out quickly what's happening with our other storm in Walton County, because we do note that there's an ongoing tornado warning in place for Point Washington and areas just to the north of Seaside, coming out here towards Bruce. This is to the east of 331. This is to the north of Highway 98 in southern Walton County. All clear for Santa Rosa Beach. All clear for Seaside. Sandestin, Destin, you're fine. All right, there's never been a tornado warning tonight for Destin. The warnings were in place for Walton County, and there's an ongoing tornado warning for Point Washington and areas there just to the south of Bruce in Walton County. But again, the reason that we have come on the air is because of this confirmed tornado in areas near Pensacola Beach. And this ongoing tornado warning exists until 9:15. So we got 5 more minutes on Pensacola Beach. We have previously given an all clear to Pensacola, Warrington, and areas near the Pensacola Metro. However, we just a few minutes ago gave an all clear to Gulf breeze. All right, so all clear for Gulf breeze. Even though you see this polygon, the threat has clearly shifted to your south and is out over Pensacola Beach right now as of 9:10 p.m. on this Thursday, June the 15th, 2023. Long day, long night last night, and unfortunately we're going to have more storms on Friday. I don't think the tornado risk will be nearly as high tomorrow as what's happened over the last few days. But nonetheless, we could have damaging straight line winds and large hail similar to what we had today across inland areas. Let me actually see if the Weather Service is considering issuing a warning for this blob right here. This is an area of broad rotation very near NAS Pensacola, moving to the south. It's more disorganized than the cell that we've been tracking at Pensacola Beach. No doubt, it's more disorganized than that. But it's still rotating nonetheless. Goodness, I tell you what, the damage that people are reporting in Pensacola has been quite scary. And look, one bit of hopefully anxiety-reducing information I can tell you, one of the major cell phone providers across our region has had a time today providing service. I don't know what's going on, whether it's a fiber optic cut or something else, but one of the cell phone providers has been bad service across the region, not only in Pensacola, but really region-wide. And so I'm just saying, if you can't get a hold of your relative in downtown Pensacola, please don't, stress too hard because there is the ongoing cellular outage. And I think it's important to mention that just because I know that we've got folks calling in to Pensacola trying to check on friends, loved ones, and relatives. And this tornado did some damage. We know it did some damage. There's some entrapment in this area, but it's a bit too premature to assess exactly where this happened on the map. And so I've seen reports from fire stations in the area that they're responding. I don't have specifics on exactly where yet in this area. Somewhere near downtown Pensacola, Wahoo Stadium is right here, Palafox, back over to Warrington. The tornado was somewhere right in this area, near Brownsville or just to the south of there. Right in through here was where this tornado hit, and it continues to move out into the Gulf. In fact, that thing is very near Pensacola Beach. This is a slow mover, all right? This has been a very slow-moving thunderstorm, and as have been all the storms today, lots of thunderstorms across the region have been slow movers and thus incredible and prolific rain producers. And that's why we have this ongoing flash flood warning in place for the Pensacola Metro. We'll pop that polygon on the screen. This darker shade of green, this polygon, is a flash flood warning with a considerable damage threat. What does that mean? It means that the Weather Service believes that we do have ongoing flash flooding, but perhaps a little bit more than the common flash floods that we often experience. Be off the roads if you're in Pensacola. Don't be out driving in this mess. Lots of lightning continues as well across the Pensacola Metro. But again, the reason that we are here, we've got to stay focused on this. Storm south of Pensacola Beach could be producing a tornado. It looks like this has shifted just offshore right here, but it is so close that I can't give you an all clear just yet in Pensacola Beach. It's not going to be long, I promise. It's not going to be probably 5 more minutes and we'll be able to give you an all clear, but stay in that safe place. Respect this storm. It's done damage. And anytime you've got a storm like this that's done confirmed damage with entrapment, don't play with this, all right? Don't try to go outside and see it. You're not going to see it. It's rain wrapped, lots of lightning, and Gulf breeze, you're done. No doubt about it at this point. You're A-OK in Gulf breeze, and I think the Weather Service has actually just allowed that warning to go. Let me make sure of that. Yeah, it looks like they're going to allow this warning to expire now at 9:15 p.m. And look, the thing is probably about half a mile offshore, if not a mile offshore, not far, and it's moving like that, so it's moving away. And so I think it's wise on the course of the Weather Service to not reissue a tornado warning just for Pensacola Beach because this thing is moving away. And so let's give it, just to be safe, I want to make sure that we get the expiration from the Weather Service. We've not had that yet. And the way it works is they issue the warnings at National Weather Service Mobile, and they send an expiration or a cancellation message, but I have not received that just yet. We'll put this in motion so you can see, yeah, that thing continues to move offshore. And so look, I think it's prudent at this point. It's 9:16 p.m. The warning's gone. We'll give you an all clear at Pensacola Beach, all right? All clear from the imminent tornado threat. So that was a situation that ramped up very quickly, and we're watching 2 other areas of concern, one of which is in Baldwin County. The other is in southern Escambia County near Perdido Key, coming into areas right here near NAS. This one's going to move just like this towards Josephine, but those do not have any active tornado warnings. And so what that means is the only warning we have left is over here in Walton County, all right? Walton County, Florida. Tornado warning for Point Washington and areas out here just to the southeast of Bruce, but just, again, we shoot it to you straight around here, or we try to. That circulation is weaker than it once was. And so tornado warning continues for a very small part of Walton County in Florida. Walton County is here, Point Washington is right there, small tornado warning polygon, circulation moving towards Bruce and Ebro in the Florida Panhandle. The good news is, as of 9:17 p.m., we now have no active tornado warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida. Take a deep breath and exhale, because odds are we probably won't have any more in the way of tornado warnings. I say that, there's a lower end chance with these cells in Baldwin County and Escambia County, Florida, right in through here, coming into NAS. Nasty storms, but it looks like the core of this has now passed off of Pensacola Beach, and it looks like these cells that are here near Lillian, near Robertsdale, areas near Seminole, out here towards Alberta, which is right here, those cells are a bit weaker than the initial cell that prompted the tornado warning for downtown Pensacola. So just to reiterate, 9:18 p.m., no active tornado warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida west of Destin, all right? Ongoing tornado warning for Walton County. Let's look across the region, because we are expecting more in the way of thunderstorms as we get into your Friday. I had to think what day it was, because we've had so many severe weather days over the last few days. Here is a view across the state, and you can see that where all the active weather is, it's down here in our part of the world, right here along the coast at this point. Scattered showers and thunderstorms forming up here in parts of Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Bibb, and Shelby counties. They're in the central part of Alabama. Got some lightning associated with those storms. And we are forecasting another MCS, or mesoscale convective system. In fact, you can see the thing. I can't move this map, but it's all this mess back in Oklahoma right now. You got a tornado watch in place for parts, and a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Oklahoma and Texas this evening. That whole mess is going to move across the deep south just like that, and ultimately end up in our local area as we get into your Friday morning, probably in the mid to late morning hours. And so, yes, there may be more in the way of severe thunderstorm warnings. Can't completely rule out a few more tornado warnings as well, although I note that the tornado risk tomorrow is going to be a bit lower. Before I let you go, and before we go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app, I do want to check a few more sources here to see what we've got going on in terms of damage. I tell you, this thing really did a number in downtown Pensacola. I've seen multiple reports from reliable sources of entrapment in parts of southern Pensacola. Here's the radar loop over the last little bit, and right in through there. This tornado started somewhere right in here, on the southeastern side of the downtown Pensacola area, and it moved just like that. I mean, it was very, very close to Gulf Breeze. This is Gulf Breeze right here. Pensacola Beach is this barrier island. Fort Pickens is over here. Tornado moved just like that and has now moved out over the Gulf of Mexico. That thing is still rotating, and it probably is producing now a sizable water spout, tornado over water, south of Pensacola Beach. This is the Eglin Air Force Base radar. I want to switch to the Mobile radar and look at these storms that are happening coming into NAS, Pensacola. Yeah, that circulation from that vantage point is much more broad, and so that's a good thing. We also see a circulation here near Elsinore. That's weak, it's broad, not producing a tornado. This is moving just like this, and so we'll watch it and see if that ramps up. But for now, this is tame, and it's under severe limits in Baldwin County. Ongoing flash flood warning continues until 12:15 a.m. for the Pensacola Metro. Don't be driving in Pensacola unless you absolutely have to. Horrible weather continues with lots of lightning, especially on the south side of town. If you're in Santa Rosa County, lots of lightning near Navarre. I haven't mentioned Navarre tonight. Same thing at Pearlbert Field, Fort Walton, Destin. Storms are a bit to your west, but these storms are tame in comparison with the storms over near Pensacola. So under severe limits across Santa Rosa and across Okaloosa County. Ongoing tornado warning near Point Washington in Walton County, valid for the next 15 to 30 minutes. What we're going to do is go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app. And of course, if we happen to have more tornado warnings tonight, we'll come back on Facebook Live and bring you the very latest. Please understand that we may have more in the way of weather warnings as we get into Friday morning. This is not over. And, you know, it's one of those deals that I don't think I've ever covered an event quite like this. It's mid-June. We have an upper level flow that continues to usher in systems just like this across the region. I've never experienced this in my meteorological career, and I've been doing this full-time now for over 5 years. And so it's pretty rare to have tornado warnings in June outside of tropical systems. And so what you just experienced in Pensacola with that confirmed tornado certainly is uncommon in the month of June. We get tornadoes left and right around here from February to early May, March and April in particular. But this is more unusual. And so because we don't have any tornado warnings though, we're going to go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app. And like I said, if we do have more warnings, we'll come back on Facebook Live and bring you the very latest. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson saying good night for now. We'll come back if we have more tornado warnings.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.